Good afternoon once again, our dear partners in learning. 2021 is a big year for Rex, and we are happy to be able to share this milestone with you as we continue to serve you as a new, bigger, and better Rex education. To officially open today's event, let us hear from Rex Education's Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Don Timothy Buhain.
To our esteemed guests, Honorable former Chief Justice Diosdado Peralta, Attorney Dominador Buhain, Attorney Dorothy Peralta, Attorney Ralph Salvador, our Honorable Chief Justice Alexander G. Jesmundo, Honorable Justice Romeo J. Callejo Sr., Honorable Jose Maidas P. Marquez, Ms. Chan Marie Tordesillas, Ms. Danda Crimelda Buhain, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant afternoon. I want to thank all of you for making time today for such a momentous occasion where we can all come together for the launch of Honorable Chief Justice Diosdado Peralta's second book with Rex Education, Essentials in Criminal Law. It's just been a year since we witnessed the publication of his very first book with us, Insights on Evidence, which he co-wrote with Associate Justice Eduardo Peralta. Allow me to congratulate these two legal luminaries on the stunning success of the book, which quickly became an indispensable reference material for students and practitioners of criminal law in the country. Let us give our justices a warm of applause. Chief Justice Peralta has had a more than glorious career serving in the courts of this land for decades. From emerging as a regional trial court judge and becoming presiding justice of the Sandigan Bayan, to serving as an Associate Justice of the Supreme Court for more than a decade before getting appointed as the Chief Justice. All of his outstanding legal acumen and exceptional mastery of the substantive and procedural laws in criminal law has led to the birth of this book, Essentials in Criminal Law. Within the pages of this book are the most recent developments in our penal statutes and jurisprudence, made more comprehensive by Chief Justice Peralta's nuanced understanding of criminal law's finer point. But it is more than just a distilled compilation of his knowledge and insight through his almost 4 decades of legal practice. This book is also a celebration of his legacy, not just in criminal law, but in the shaping of this country as he culminates his career as the 26th Chief Justice of the Philippines. It is also a labor of love and a source of hope for the legal community as it hopes to become a beacon of light amidst a challenging moment for legal education in the country, when everyone is grappling for a sense of stability after being hardly stricken by the current situation. As retired Justice Romeo Callejo said, to say that the Honorable Chief Peralta is an authority of unquestionable competence and expertise is an understatement. More than an authority, he is an icon. He has shaped the Philippine legal landscape. He has, with his own wisdom and words, brought justice to the democracy that we now experience. It is an extreme honor and privilege that we get a glimpse of his methodical prodigy and wisdom through the pages of Essentials in Criminal Law. Beyond doubt, today will be a very illuminating discussion from the man of the law himself. We would like to thank Chief Justice Peralta for sharing with us this brilliant piece of work and for gracing us today with your valuable time. We look forward to today's very enlightening discussion. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Don Timothy Buhayin. And now, to render the message from the publisher, may we call on the Chairman and President of Rex Education, Attorney Dominador Buhayin.
So, good afternoon to our dearest and most esteemed guests, Honorable Chief Justice Alexander G. Esmundo, Honorable Justice Romeo G. Callejo, Senior, Honorable Jose Maidas P. Marquez, Attorney Dorothy Peralta, Attorney Ralph Salvador, Mr. Don Timothy Buhayin, Ms. John Marie Tordesillas, Ms. Danta Clemelda Buhayin, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant afternoon. Today's man of the hour, Honorable Chief Justice Diosdado Peralta, thank you for making time for us. I am honored and truly delighted to be present here today to represent Rex Education in this momentous occasion. Rex Bookstore, as we know it, began in 1950 as a humble bookstore in Ascarga, which is now CM Recto, engaged in the buying and selling of second-hand books. Now, 70 years later, we have grown into a brand, an advocacy, and a community dedicated to providing learning solutions for Filipino whole learners of all ages, wherever they are in their life and learning journey. Through the years, we have grown from publishing books for learners from pre-elementary to law, to producing digital educational materials and supporting courses and services geared to address every learner's ever-growing and changing needs in the 21st century. We are now proud to say that we are every Filipino's lifelong companion in their journey, learning in all forms, beyond the walls of institutions, learning for delight, enlightenment, and fulfillment. Our transformation as Rex Education mirrors all these changes, innovations, and growth. This is our tradition of service, inspiring every Filipino lifelong learner to advance themselves and uplift others. Amid these unprecedented trying times, Rex has remained relentless in its duty to champion education and assist duty bearers in the field of education to rise to the task of nation building. As we continue to traverse what they saw is the new normal, what they say rather is the new normal, we believe that education at any cost must not be sacrificed. With the tremendous help of our partner, legal luminaries like Chief Justice Peralta, we are confident that we can help our law learners continue learning and continue dreaming. We cannot express fully how grateful we are for this opportunity to release and publish a law book authored by no less than the country's former Chief Justice on a subject matter for which he is known and revered as an unparalleled expert. The honor is truly, truly ours. So allow me to congratulate you, Your Honor, for another feather in your cap. You are a reminder of our commitment to champion legal education and help in shaping the country's servant leaders to become better law practitioners and better individuals. Para po sa bata, para sa bawat mamamayan at para sa bayan. Again, thank you and congratulations, Honorable Chief Justice Diosdado Peralta.
Thank you very much for that message of commitment from Rex Education, Attorney Buhayin. And now we are very honored to be joined by yet another pillar of legal education in the Philippines. To share more about our author's commitment to legal education, let us all give a warm welcome to the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of the Philippines, Honorable Chief Justice Alexander G. Gesmundo.
Congratulations to Chief Justice Diosdado Peralta for the launching of his new book entitled Essentials in Criminal Law, Book 1. Chief Justice Peralta is a much sought-after lecturer and speaker in criminal law and procedure. His ability to impart not only the knowledge of the law, but also skills on how to conduct effective trial in criminal cases are truly remarkable. His writings are a cultural force as they uphold the law as an instrument of social justice and equality. With Chief Justice Peralta's multi-awarded background and outstanding experience as a public prosecutor, a professor of law, and a magistrate of the Regional Trial Court, the Sandigan Bayan, and the Supreme Court, I am confident to state that he is non-parallel authority in criminal law and procedure. Doubtless, his book will give the readers tighter grasp and mastery of the issues and doctrines on this field of study. Congratulations also to the top management of Rex Bookstore Incorporated, Attorney Dominador Buhayin, Don Timothy Buhayin, and Danda Crimelda Buhayin for publishing the book of Chief Justice Peralta. With Chief Justice Peralta's passion for teaching and for helping others by sharing his knowledge and experience, we can be assured that the ideals of truth, fairness, and justice in service of the Filipinos will always prevail.
Thank you for all of those very generous words, Chief Justice Gesmundo. We are very much honored to have you grace this event. At this point, let us hear more about why this book of former Chief Justice Peralta is an indispensable reference not just for the students, practicing lawyers, but also to the members of the Judiciary. Let us all give a warm welcome to the Honorable Justice Romeo J. Callejo Sr.
Okay. Friends, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to convey my heartfelt and profound congratulations to Chief Justice Diosdado Peralta as the successful, much-awaited launch of his book, Essentials in Criminal Law, Book 1. Chief Justice Diosdado Peralta and I go back a long way. Sometime in 1987, I was appointed presiding judge of Branch 49 of the Regional Trial Court of Manila, which was designated by the Supreme Court as a heinous crime court. I was in dire need of a competent and prodigious public prosecutor with integrity. I requested the city prosecutor of Manila to assign one to work exclusively for Branch 49. The city prosecutor granted my request but assigned the then neophyte public prosecutor Diosdado Peralta from Lawag, Ilocos Norte as public prosecutor exclusively of Branch 49 of the Regional Trial Court of Manila. Initially, I was disappointed because I expected an experienced public prosecutor, but I was pleasantly surprised and gratified because Chief Justice Peralta proved to be so assiduous and prodigious in his duties as a public prosecutor, so much so that he was eventually chosen by the city government of Manila as outstanding public prosecutor of the city for 2 successive years. I saw how his innate passion for his work and his love of the law flourished over the years, especially during the time when I worked with him in various committees in the Supreme Court. It is a well-known fact that when it comes to the field of criminal law, Chief Justice Diosdado Peralta's knowledge and expertise are remarkable, and his ability to impart the letter and the intent of the law is truly exceptional and commendable. Indeed, Chief Justice Diosdado Peralta exemplifies independence, competence, integrity, and diligence, not only as a jurist, but also an academician. This distinct mixture of qualities and experiences that distilled Chief Justice Peralta's knowledge of criminal law is what makes essential in criminal law a much awaited addition to the legal bibliography on this subject matter. His years of experience as educator, public prosecutor, a trial court judge, and a justice, not to mention Chief Justice, well-versed in the letters and issuances of criminal law and nuances of criminal law are evident in this book. He explains the breadth and complexity of the revised penal code in relation to pertinent jurisprudence and accompanying statutes in a clear and concise manner. Given Chief Justice Peralta's authorship, I am certain that Essential in Criminal Law Book 1 will prove to be an indispensable reference to law students and law practitioners alike, including the judiciary. Thank you very much.
Thank you for all those very generous words, Justice Callejo Sr. To tell us more about our author and this new book, let us hear from the Court Administrator of the Supreme Court of the Philippines, Honorable Jose Maidas P. Marquez.
Let me first congratulate C.J. Peralta on his Essentials in Criminal Law, Book 1. This is certainly another feather on his cap. Ang dami na niya pong feathers sa kanyang cap. I consider criminal law as one of the more challenging subjects since my law school days. Hence, a good textbook is the key for a solid foundation on the subject, both for the bar and actual practice. Chief Justice Peralta's Essentials in Criminal Law Book 1 certainly fits the bill, as it clearly and concisely breaks down the fundamentals and incorporates the latest jurisprudence and insights one can only get from his vast experience and esteemed career in the prosecution service and, of course, in the judiciary. the chapter alone on computation of penalties of crimes, including award of damages and application of the indeterminate sentence law, is a book in itself. For sure, even justices, judges, and prosecutors will learn from this. As such, I encourage everyone, all the students of law, to get a copy of this book. And in closing, of course, let me also thank Rex Publication for this invaluable publication. Maraming salamat po and congratulations again, Chief Justice Diosdado Peralta.
Thank you very much, Mr. Marquez. Hearing all the praises of our author and his book gives us utmost pride for having been chosen and entrusted with the publication of this masterpiece. In the same vein, allow us to express our gratitude to you as well for being stewards of legal education and of law practice yourselves. We know our author has been very much awaited in this program, but before we officially introduce him, please watch a short video.
Thank you for gracing this afternoon's momentous event as we gather to seal yet another remarkable partnership in the field of law. We welcome everyone to the contract signing ceremony between the Chief Justice of the Philippines, the Honorable Diosdado Peralta, and Rex Bookstore Incorporated.
Father, we are here today to celebrate great success. In a world full of chaos and calamity, we are embracing a moment of triumph in your name and for your glory. Thank you for keeping us well and able as we continue to work together to champion education and to contribute to Philippine legal education in our own unique ways.
The year 2020 was truly a challenging year. Amid these unprecedented trying times, Rex remained relentless in its duty to champion education and to assist other duty bearers in the field of education to rise to the occasion. With the tremendous help of our partner legal luminaries, we are confident that we can help our law learners continue learning and continue dreaming. My dear Chief Justice, the honor is truly ours.
This afternoon, we are proud witnesses to the sealing of yet another partnership between Rex and the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, the Honorable Diosdado Peralta, for the development and production of most welcome legal publication entitled Essentials of Criminal Law. While Rex as an organization has made great strides over the years to contribute to the legal community through our comprehensive and award-winning portfolio, this could not have been in any way possible if it were not for the great minds of our highly valued roster of legal luminaries as partners. Allow me to leave our commitment that we will continue to live up to our avowed mission to champion legal publication in our country.
On occasions such as today, I cannot help but feel nostalgic and sentimental. During my law student years, the world was much simpler. the students of law or any field for that matter relied so much on the textbooks, printouts, and written notes, and going to the library. Eventually, I was appointed as magistrate in the Supreme Court. In this capacity, I am now able to craft opinions of the court that would guide the bar and the bench of the proper application of the law enacted by the legislature. I would like to take time to thank the following persons for their support and contribution in the research and proofreading of this book, for entrusting to me this honor and privilege to publish a book, as this will only rekindle my passion for teaching and for helping others by sharing my knowledge and experience. Passing the bar exams and becoming a lawyer are just a couple of the many steps towards achieving success. It should always be remembered that hard work is the foundation of dreams and success. In order to succeed in life and reach one's dreams, one must have a passion and love for one's craft. One must consistently exert best effort and put in honest, dedicated, and hard work. Significantly, whatever one does, one's honor and integrity should never be compromised. Lawyers, whether in the public or private sector, should always stay committed to the ideals of truth, fairness, and justice in service to the country and fellow Filipinos.
And now, with much honor, join us in welcoming our beloved author. He was a committed advocate for continuous trial in criminal and civil cases, which made him leave about 25 cases only out of the 600 cases left in his term before he was promoted to the Sandigan Bayan. His innovative mindset also led to the institutionalization of video conferencing and continuous trial monitoring system, which enabled the court to conduct around 200,000 video conferences with 88% success rate in just a span of 1 year. The establishment of the Judiciary Public Assistance Section that provides prompt assistance and guidance for the public and court users to assure the fair and just treatment of our authorities, and the implementation of the Judicial Integrity Board are just one of his great works, to name a few. His decisions during his term of service was indeed instrumental in shaping our criminal law jurisprudence to the contemporary needs of time, bringing aspects of criminal law ever closer to the true spirit of restorative criminal justice system. Among all his achievements is being recognized as the most outstanding prosecutor of Manila. He was also awarded by the Supreme Court's Special Centennial Awards in the field of criminal law last 2001, and was awarded the Chief Justice Ramon Abansenia Award for Outstanding RTC Judge in 2002. Later on 2019, he was appointed as the Chief Justice of the Philippines. A warm welcome to one of the pillars of Philippine legal education, our partner in championing legal education. Let us give a round of applause to our author, the Honorable former Chief Justice Diosdado M. Peralta.
Thank you, Diane. Honorable Chief Justice Alexander G. Desmundo, Justice Romeo J. Callejo Sr., Chairperson, Judicial Integrity Board, Court Administrator Jose Milas P. Marquez, Office of the Court Administrator, Supreme Court, Associate Justice Fernanda Lampas Peralta of the Court of Appeals, Attorney Dominador Buhain, Chairperson, Rex Box Store Incorporated, Mr. Don Timothy Buhain, Chief Executive Officer, Rex Box Store Incorporated, Madam Danda Crimelda Buhain, Chief External Affairs Officer, Rex Box Store Incorporated, the editorial staff of Rex Box Store, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant afternoon to everyone. It feels like it was just yesterday when I was still on the sacred grounds of the University of Santo Tomas Faculty of Civil Law. I can still remember some of my most memorable recitations with my esteemed professors, some of whom were authors of highly regarded books and respected publications. Some were revered names in the legal community, while some were members or were destined to become members of the bench. Those professors of mine became my inspiration in dreaming of achieving great things to bring glory to God, to my parents, to my family, and to our beloved country. Needless to say, they were also the ones who inspired me to become a law professor myself, as it was through them that I realized the impact that those who devote their talents and sacrifice their time to teach and mold the minds, character, and spirit of others have in influencing the next generations of legal professionals. I was already a prosecutor at the office of the city prosecutor when I started my teaching career. I first taught non-bar subjects. Of course, as new professor then, I could not yet demand from the dean the subjects I wanted to teach, which was criminal law, obviously. But I still taught the subject I was assigned to teach with passion, knowing that whatever information I imparted to my students would influence them later on their legal careers. It was only later on in my teaching career that I was able to teach the law subject I was most passionate about, when a well-regarded criminal law professor slowed down from teaching and I was asked to join him in the criminal law department. Admittedly, teaching criminal law was easier for me compared to teaching other subjects, as I knew the subject like the back of my hand, being then a prosecutor at the sala of a criminal law expert, Judge Romeo J. Callejo, Sr., from whom I gained a deeper understanding of the key principles and finer details of the subject. I knew that I would be imparting firsthand and skills-based knowledge from my trial court experience as a prosecutor to my students. During my tenure as a Quezon City Regional Trial Court judge, my understanding of criminal law was honed further. As a judge, I made sure that I was always ready for any eventuality in my court, especially during arraignment when the accused would plead guilty. I knew I had to promulgate the sentence right there and then, and so I prepared myself. As a judge, my grasp of the rules on computation of penalties and of the application of the indeterminate sentence law, which I acquired as a public prosecutor, proved to be extremely useful. But even as a judge, I saw the need to constantly keep myself updated of the developments in criminal law. I understood that learning is a perpetual habit, especially given the reality that the landscape of criminal law is an ever-changing one, with penal statutes endlessly being enacted by the legislature and decisions applying and interpreting them regularly being rendered by our Supreme Court. When I was appointed to the Sandigan Bayan as an Associate Justice, eventually serving presiding justice, I got to experience what it was like to serve in a collegial work framework. My understanding of criminal law became even more specialized, given the nature of the cases that we handled in the anti-graft court. Eventually, I was appointed as a magistrate in the Supreme Court, where my adjudicative tasks necessarily involved reviewing the appeal decisions of the trial court judges and the justices of the appellate courts. In this capacity, my prior judicial experience enabled me, I was able to craft opinions for the court that would eventually guide the bar and the bench on the application of the criminal laws. Having had the opportunity to decide complex and seemingly difficult cases, I got to highlight gaps and loopholes, either in the law itself or in the prior application that even helped Congress in drafting statutes that substantially address these matters. A good example of this is the 2014 case of Corpus versus People, wherein the Supreme Court was faced with the issue of the constitutionality of Article 315 of the Revised Penal Code pertaining to the crime of estafa and the corresponding penalties. There, the court contemplated on the perceived injustice brought about by the range of penalties that the courts continue to impose on crimes against property committed today based on the amount of damage measured by the value of the money 80 years ago in 1932, and the resulting enactment of Republic Act number 10951, which addressed the need to adjust disproportionate and outdated penalties in the revised penal code. Due to the enactment of Republic Act number 10951, the court had an influx of petitions seeking the application of the law. Hernan versus Sandigan Bayan became the test case for the application of the curative law. In Hernan versus Sandigan Bayan, the Supreme Court decided to reopen a criminal case that was already final and executory since 2013 in order to apply the provisions of RA 10951. It was a division case that was referred to the en banc because there had been no guidelines to guide our judges. The remedy of those serving sentences could have only been through petitions for habeas corpus in order for them to be released from detention. But to do so, the judges would have had to first amend the decisions where they may refuse to do so on the ground of lack of authority. I would like to discuss more of the cases that had significant impact in enacting laws, but I believe we all know that it would take me several hours to do so. At any rate, the cases, even the new ones that I wrote in the last months of 2020, are already included in my book. All you need to do is to purchase a copy. Levity aside, I would like to take this time to thank the following individuals for their invaluable contribution in the preparations and publications of this book: Attorney Dorothy Peralta, Judge Felix Domingo, Attorney Jeffrey Gallardo, Attorney Al Azri J. Muhammad Sali, and Attorney Ralph Jerome Salvador. My deepest gratitude to Chief Justice Alexander Gasmundo, Justice Romo J. Callejo Sr., whom I consider as my mentor, and Court Administrator Midas Marquez for their testimonials. I would also like to recognize my parents who inspired me to write this book: Judge Elviro Lasso Peralta, who was a legal luminary and a well-known criminal law practitioner in the Ilocos region, and my mother, Catalina Madarang Peralta, who was a well-loved public school teacher. Most importantly, I would like to appreciate my caring and supportive family, Court of Appeals Justice Fernanda Lampas Peralta, and our beloved children, Attorney Dorothy, John Christopher, Timothy John, and John Isaac. I likewise express my sincerest gratitude to the management of Rex Bookstore Incorporated, namely Attorney Dominador Buhain, Mr. Don Timothy Buhain, and Madam Danda Crimelda Buhain, for entrusting to me this honor and privilege of publishing a book in criminal law, thus rekindling my passion for teaching and allowing me to preserve, so to speak, my knowledge of the subject matter that I love most for others to learn from. It is my hope that this book will guide the readers towards a deeper grasp and mastery of the issues and doctrines of criminal law. The book is divided into two parts. The first part tackles the basic concepts of criminal law. The second part provides an in-depth guidelines for the computation of penalties. This book incorporates the latest penal laws such as Republic Act number 10707, or the Act amending the probation law, and Republic Act number 10592, the law that provided the good conduct time allowance, together with its implementing rules and regulation. It likewise includes the Supreme Court guidelines in the imposition of community service as penalty in lieu of imprisonment and the 2019 revised rules on children in conflict with the law. I have always said that in life, one should always bear in mind that hard work is the foundation of dreams and success. One must consistently exert best effort in everything that one does, be it the littlest of things or the most daunting of tasks. More importantly, in whatever one does, one's honor integrity should never be compromised. It is my hope that somehow this authorship of mine will play a part, be it big or small, in its readers' commitment to the values of fortitude, fairness, and justice in the legal profession. Thank you for your presence this afternoon. I wish all of you a pleasant day. May God bless us all. Pabuhay tayong lahat. But the other part is that I will give some part tips. No, now I've not been in the academy for quite a time, but I've been teaching in the Philippine Judicial Academy. What I can advise the candidates for the bar exams, insofar as Book 1 is concerned, that they have to remember and master the basic principles in Book 1. The basic principles are there in the book, but pay attention to to Article 2, the application of our criminal law. Article 4, likewise, you have to know them by heart. Paragraph 1, you are liable, and when that provision is applicable only to intentional crimes. Of course, impossible crime, you read the cases of People versus Jacinto, then the one that I wrote, People versus Jacinto. Then there might be a question asked under Article 5 of the revised penal code, the duty of Congress to amend the law in relation to the case that I wrote, in the case of People versus Corpus. But the remedy when the penalty is punitive or excessive is not for the court to decide, but for the court to apply the penalty, but refer to the Chief Executive through the Department of Justice, the possible amendment of the penal laws. You read that case, I know that I'm sure that there will be a problem that will come from that case of People versus Corpus. Now, Article 6, of course, very important. Likewise, we should know also by heart provisions of Article 6 up to Article 20. No, all of those provisions from Article 6, Article 20, you have to know them by heart. No. You do not need to memorize them, but you should know when mitigating, aggravating, privilege, and so on can be appreciated. No? And there are also several provisions after Article 20 in light of the amendment of the good time allowance conduct and the application of the special law on the application of the revised penal code on provision of the special law. Article 22, then Article 29, preventive imprisonment. Article 48, very important, complex crime, special complex crime, and other complex crimes. And of course, indeterminate sentence law, probation. All of these provisions in Book 1, I believe 40% will come in the bar exams will come from Book 1, and the other 60% will come from Book 2 and from the special laws. So my tip to the bar examinees that when you ask a question on criminal law where they understand very well the question, determine first the issues, and if you know already the issues, think of the law that is applicable. If you cannot remember that is the doctrine, the applicable, then the safest way to answer the question is apply the law, and then defend your answer. But make your answer brief, not very long answers. Just make it brief. If your answer is yes, then say yes, and then defend your answer. If the question calls for a no answer, then you start your answer with no, and then defend your answer. If it needs a qualification, then you start with it depends, no, or you qualify your answer. But make your answers brief, because like any human being, you know, sometimes there are other factors that might affect the checking of the papers. Because if you if you give long answers, it will take time for the examiner to read your answers. Make it brief, concise, and easily understandable. So that's all that I can give for tips. But probably enroll in my class when I start the delivering lectures, or better still, get a book one and later on book two, which I hope may be out for publication not later the month of August. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable former Chief Justice Diosdado M. Peralta. Now is your chance to get to ask a question to our author. We are opening the floor for the question and answer portion with former Chief Justice Peralta. So feel free to comment your questions below. We will be selecting 5 questions from the comments section. And as we move forward, I will be reading the questions on your behalf, attorney. All right. So we have our first question, Chief Justice.
Yes, go ahead.
From Kamal Krishna Banik. What's the difference between legal and medical practitioner and relationship?
What's the difference between
legal and medical practitioner and relationship?
Now, the legal is that the basis of the basis of the opinion is based on on law, whereas forensic, then the basis of the opinion is based on science. But science is very important, no? Very important in criminal cases, especially when interpreting the findings, no, or the injuries, or even the findings of investigators, because cannot be interpreted by law, by experts in law, but can only be interpreted by forensic or so those good in science. So the relationship is that, as we all know in the role and evidence, when we talk of science or forensic, then we call it a physical. I mean, we call it an evidence that is even better than the testimonial evidence because it does not lie. So if you come up with, if you read some cases involving violent cases like murder, right, judges will always rely on the forensic findings, because that is the best evidence to show that somebody was killed by the use of a gun or by a weapon, a knife, or a woman was sexually abused by the findings of the medical doctor on the injuries of the woman. So science will go hand in hand with law. But as I said, in law, what you interpret is the provision of the law, and the forensic, what they interpret would be their findings, with where science is applied by them. So yun ang relation nila. Very important in arriving at a conclusion, because they are the best evidence in the hierarchy of evidence. Physical evidence is the highest in the hierarchy of evidence. So that's the relation between medical science and law.
Thank you very much, Chief Justice. We have our second question. Good afternoon, Chief Justice Peralta. What is your general advice to 2020 to 2021 bar examinees on effective mastery of the recent developments in our penal statutes and jurisprudence? Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good question, no? Now, when I was writing my book one, and also my book two, it seems that there are now many laws to study, and there are many laws that sometimes it's very hard to determine which among the laws is applicable. Just to give an example of a woman being sexually abused, no? If a woman is sexually abused, then the first thing that will get into your mind is that this is rape or this is acts of violence and so on, no? But you have to determine if there is a relationship between the woman and then the offender, or the age of the victim, and so on. So my suggestion is that, because of so many laws and jurisprudence, my suggestion is that what you do actually is because it's you know it's there are now so many doctrines, and what you should do is, I said a while ago, is that determine first the issues, no, and remember what there are laws applicable. The examiner will not ask a difficult question, I think, but the students are expected to know when is this law applicable. So that is you have to concentrate on this, no. The examiner expects you when this law is applicable. I'll give you an example, no. A woman is sexually abused. Sexual abuse. Assume that she was sexually abused. Then immediately they will say, "Oh, this is a crime of rape. This is a statutory rape. This is a qualified rape. Oh, this is not rape. This is punished under 9262, and so on and so on." So you can just imagine there are so many laws that may be applicable, and if you do not know the distinctions among all these laws, then you will have a hard time. So my suggestion is, you study the laws, you get the syllables, what are those laws that are covered by the bar exams, determine the issues, think first, if you do not know the doctrine, think of the law that is applicable, and then start answering the question, and then defend your answer in a brief and concise, defend your answer in a brief and concise manner. Yun lang ang ano ko, no? That's why I know, not because I'm teaching criminal law. I think one of the hardest subjects actually is criminal law. Yeah, but as I said, if you know the basic principles and you know the distinctions, you know what is the law applicable, it will be hard for you to answer a question in criminal law. I hope you're satisfied with my answer. A little bit long.
Thank you very much, Chief Justice. For our third question from Nico Aguilar, Justice, in case of doubt in answering bar questions on is there a crime committed, what do you think is the safer answer? Should we resolve in favor of a crime committed or not? Thank you.
I know, do not get the wrong notion that the answer is based on to give favor to the accused or to give favor to the victim. No, the best way to answer that question is determine the issue first. No, madali naman ang criminal law eh. Criminal law is hard because when you read the book, it's very long, but no examiner will ask a question based on a law that is seldom used. He will give the questions that you can easily answer or you can remember the law applicable. No bar examiner will ask a question from out of this world question because he does not expect that the examiners will be able to answer. So if you have doubt on your answer, do not say that you have doubt in your answer. See, that will frustrate you. If the issue that you have determined from the question is the issue that you know, then defend your answer. That's all that you can do. But do not say that you have to favor this one. There's no such thing as I have to answer this because it's favorable to the accused, it's favorable to the victim. The best way to answer that the problem is determine the issue, and then think of the law that is applicable. If you say that he should be liable for this crime, then defend. Because that is the law that you can remember. But if you know the law the law, however, says that this is the crime committed, then so be it. Defend your answer. I think the examiner will understand your answer if you can fully defend your answer. I know some examiners, because I was a chairman of the bar exams also before, they would ask me a question. Mr. Chairman, what about if the question is not? The answer is not the answer that I'm expecting. Sabi ko, you have to consider also the basis of the answer. If you believe that tama naman yung sagot niya, based from the understanding of the issue, then you have to give points because that is what he understands from the issues and the facts that you presented, and he defends it with the proper law, applicable doctrine. Bigyan mo ng points yan. You should appreciate that because I think all examiners think that way. So do not you know that's applicable to the facts and the issues presented. That is the best way to answer the question.
Thank you very much, Justice. And for our fourth question from Jojo Season. What is your view on reducing the age of children in conflict with the law to 12 years old?
Nawala. Can you repeat the question?
All right po. The fourth question is from Jojo Season. What is your view on reducing the age of children in conflict with the law to 12 years old?
You want the law to be amended, no? Now, the law is not and it's a new law. So there are now moves to lower. Now we go back to the old one, and they are saying we have to go back to the old one because if he is between old and he acted with discernment, and then they should be liable. But he did not act with discernment that it will be privileged. We have increased the accepting circumstance from 12 to 15, no? So 15 below accepted from criminal liability. Your question is to go back to the 12-year-old. That if you are 12-year-old and below, then exempted, then now that can I have a problem. I have a problem on this, no, because when we were young, like Attorney Buhay, no, a little bit older than sa akin, during our time kasi, ang behavior ng children nun iba eh. I'm sorry to say, when during our time, we were more God-fearing eh. Takot kami noon. No? Sobrang ang takot sa parents, takot sa teachers. Iba talaga during our time. Siyempre, because of development, change of attitude, and so on, environment, so on. Yung influence, influence. So, kung masasamang drugs, increase ng population, nagkaroon ng change ng attitude of some people, of some young people. Nagko-commit ng crimes. And so, because these young people, they are not supposed to go to prison at very young age, instead of bringing them to prison, some people believe should be treated instead of being imposing punitive sanction. Increase nila yung 50. You back to, I think we have determined now the present circumstances. Naging effective ba yung 12 to 15 under the new law? Hindi ba effective yung restorative justice that we have? It's not effective, then go back to 12. But if it is effective, then give a chance to the law, a longer time for the law to be there, and then let us see if the data will show that on, and then I think we'll have to have a second look on the proposal. But that's my answer. And well, but to me, as I said, there should be further study on it because 15 years yan eh. Determined anyway, there are already many laws, even court, and there are our rules. We came out with rules in conflict with the law, and as I said a while ago, we have any other questions?
Thank you, Justice. And for our last question, What is the ultimate test in determining if a crime can be admitted under frustrated stage? Hello, Justice. Can you hear me? Hello, Justice. Can you hear me po? All right, I think former Chief Justice Peralta has a internet connectivity issue. So before we continue with our question and answer, this is just a reminder that we will be having an online raffle later. So this time we will be giving 5 copies of Essentials in Criminal Law. So please take note that the raffle winners who's unable to come in present within the allotted time will be disqualified and the team will draw another winner. All right, so if you're the lucky winner, comment present on the comment section within 30 seconds after we announce your name. So you can still register in the pinned on the link on our on the comment section. Chief Justice, hello.
Yes, I hear you now.
All right po. I think is your camera on po?
Yeah, I'm not reading the can be admitted on the stage. That's the question. Is the answer is but you are at the stage.
Sorry, Chief. I think your camera is off po, since we can't see you. Hello, Chief Justice. Can you hear me po?
But no, there's no video.
It's okay. It's okay, Chief. We can hear you. We can hear you naman po. Do you want me to restate the question, Chief? All right. Once again, Chief Justice has a technical issue. So I would like to remind our dear viewers that you have a chance to win a copy of Chief Justice Peralta's book. All you need to do is register now on the link pinned in the comments to be included in our live draw. If you're the lucky winner, comment present in the comment section within 30 seconds after we announce your name. We pinned the registration form in the comment section below, so you can still register to join our raffle. This time, we will give 5 copies of Essentials in Criminal Law. So please take note that the raffle winners who's unable to comment present within the allotted time will be disqualified, and the team will draw another winner. Announcement of the 5 raffle winners. 4 each will be done later before we end this program. All right, I think Chief Justice is here. Justice Peralta, can you hear me po?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you now.
Po. All right. Do you want me to read the last question again?
Yeah, I read it already. When is accepted as, okay, you can repeat the question. Yeah.
All right po. Okay, for our last question, what is the ultimate test in determining if a crime can be admitted under frustrated stage?
Yeah. To be safe, the offender has already performed all the acts of execution, but was not able to consummate the crime. That is the safest one. If you have not yet performed all the acts of execution, then definitely it's not frustrated stage. But there are crimes where even if you have already performed all the acts of execution, the crimes have not yet reached the frustrated stage. Like, for example, the crime of rape, because there's no frustrated rape, and the crime of theft, in most cases, in view of that doctrine laid down by the Supreme Court in People versus Valenzuela, there is no such thing as frustrated theft. So only in these 2 areas where there are no frustrated stages. Of course, in special laws, where intent is not an essential element, there's no such thing as frustrated crime, like violation of the dangerous drugs law, or in other crimes like the crime of violation of the anti-graft law. It's either attempted or consummated. So, but the basic principle is that as long as you have not yet performed all of the acts of execution, definitely it is not in the frustrated stage. But if you have performed all the acts of execution, then you can safely say that it has already reached the frustrated stage, except in specific crimes. That means that you have not consummated yet the crime, but you have already performed all the acts of execution. That's all.
Thank you very much, Chief Justice. Do you have any tips, or can you share any inspirational message to our future lawyers who are watching us today?
Well, I said many things already in my speech, but those who are listening, students, well, you buy my book, no? Because this is the only, I think this is the newest book that incorporated new doctrines and new laws. I do not know with the other authors, but I was told that my book contains the new laws and also new doctrines. For those in the judiciary, and those who would like to join the judiciary later on, you have a subject in the orientation program for new judges, subject on computation of penalties, which I've been teaching in the Philippine Judicial Academy for the past 20 years. I have incorporated what I've been lecturing to the PILJA, the computation of penalties, and this will help the judges because, there is a doctrine laid down by the Supreme Court that you impose the wrong penalty, then there is no valid decision because that penalty you impose does not exist. So I always remind my judges that be careful with the penalties because if it is not corrected, for example, if we impose a penalty, it's not life imprisonment or reclusion perpetual, let's say 10 years maximum, but the maximum should have been 8 years. That will be an injustice to the accused because he did not anymore appeal. That becomes final executory, can no longer be corrected in the meantime. Then he will have to languish in jail more than what he deserves. And that's one, no? The other one is that I always tell my judges and those who would like to join that the hardest subject in criminal law is computation of penalties because there are so many factors that you have to consider. And I think it's only in my book where there is a specific chapter for computation of penalties, the appreciation of all these modifying circumstances, the application of the indeterminate sentence law, the computation of penalties under special law with their own penalties, or special laws adopting the penalties under the revised penal. All the questions that you asked from me during the lecture and during my time when I was teaching are all there in that book. So those fiscals or lawyers or lawyers or practitioners who would like to join the judiciary, buy the book. Anyway, it is cheap. And I'm not after, we're not Rex Bookstore or myself. We're not after of the profit. What we are after is that to impart what we know on our knowledge to the members of the legal profession and members of the bench. I think that's my goal, and that's also the goal of Rex Bookstore. As they have said a while ago, for so many years they've been selling books. I've been telling them also when I was taking up law, because I was a working student, I could hardly buy a book from Rex Bookstore, so I had to go to Claro and Recto to buy one. Minsan second hand na nga eh. That's why second hand na nga, but very helpful ang Rex Bookstore. No? That's why when I was requested to write a book for Rex Bookstore, hindi na ako nag-isip ng matagal. I immediately said, it's not for Rex Bookstore, baby. I should not be what I am now. So they have continued their goal of helping people in order to become lawyers, and lawyers in order to become better lawyers, and lawyers in order to become members of the judiciary. You rely on the Rex Bookstore, and you rely on the books that they publish, because I know that these are books that really guide us in our specialization, in the legal profession. No? If you want to specialize in criminal law or criminal procedure, then get hold of our book in rule evidence and also criminal law. So thank you very much. I hope that the students who are listening, I hope that you will see me in one of the review schools or in the review schools, no? Probably the month of September, October, or even earlier than those months. That's all, Iha.
Congratulations and thank you once again, Chief Justice Peralta. All right, this time, as promised, we will now be having our raffle. This will be our first raffle in this event. We will now be giving away 5 copies of these new books. Who will be the lucky winners to win the book Essentials in Criminal Law, Book 1 by our beloved Rex author, former Chief Justice Peralta? Again, reminder, we will be announcing the name of the lucky person for this raffle will. If your name is called, please comment down present so we know you're here with us. We will then verify if it's you who won. However, if after 30 seconds we did not see any comment, we will be drawing another winner from our list of registrants. All right, so good luck. All right, congratulations to Baisa Rosand. Once again, congratulations to Baisa Rosand. Ms. Baisa, if you're here with us today, kindly comment present on the comment section. We will be giving you 30 seconds to comment present for you to win our raffle. All right, congratulations to Baisa Rosan. You have won a copy of Chief Justice Peralta's new book entitled Essentials in Criminal Law, Book 1. All right, let's draw our second winner. Please spin the wheel. Congratulations to Mugski Koi. Once again, congratulations to Mugski Koi. Mugski Koi, if you're here with us today, kindly comment present in the comment section below. We will be giving you 30 seconds to comment down present for you to win a copy of Chief Justice Peralta's new book. Once again, Mugski Koi. All right, unfortunately, Mugs Kikoy was unable to comment present, so we will be drawing another winner. Congratulations to Raymond Roque. Once again, congratulations to Raymond Roque. Raymond Roque, if you're here with us today, kindly comment present in the comment section below. We will be giving you 30 seconds to comment present. If we did not see any comment, we will be drawing another winner from our list of registrants. Once again, Raymond Roque. All right, congratulations to Raymond Roque. You have won a copy of Chief Justice Peralta's new book. All right, so I have a message from our representative. Baisa Rosand is present. All right, congratulations to Baisa Rosand. So we already have 3 winners. So we only need 2 more. So good luck to our registrants. Kindly spin the wheel. Who will be our 2 lucky winners? All right, congratulations to Carlo Dalin. Once again, congratulations to Carlo Dalin. Mr. Carlo Dalin, if you're here with us today, kindly comment present. Don't miss your chance to win Chief Justice Peralta's new books. To comment down present, we will be allotting you 30 seconds only. Once again, Mr. Carlo Dalin. All right, congratulations, Mr. Carlo Dalin. Okay, on to our last winner. Who will be our last winner? Who will be the lucky one to win? All right, let's spin the wheel. Congratulations to Miss Ana Blaze Blasabas. Once again, congratulations to Miss Ana Blaze Blasabas. Miss Ana, if you're here with us today, don't miss your chance and comment down present on the comment section below so that we can verify that it's you who won Chief Justice Peralta's new book. All right, congratulations to Miss Ana Blaze Blasabas. You have won a copy of Chief Justice Peralta's new book entitled Essentials in Criminal Law, Book 1. All right, congratulations to all our winners. To our 5 lucky winners who win the raffle and won a copy of Chief Justice Peralta's new book entitled Essentials in Criminal Law, Book 1. Okay, for our winners, a Rex representative will be sending you an email regarding the details on how to claim your prize. And once again, congratulations to our 5 lucky winners. All right. This event has truly been very fruitful for each and every one. And to officially close today's event, let us welcome Rex Education's Chief External Affairs Officer, Ms. Danda Premelda Buhain, for her closing remarks.
Good afternoon. What a knowledge-packed day it has been, don't you agree? As we wind down today's special book launch and lecture, let me extend my gratitude to the people who have made this very important day a success. On behalf of Rex Education, thank you to Honorable Chief Justice Alexander G. Jasmundo, Honorable Justice Romeo J. Callejo Sr., Honorable Jose Maidas P. Marquez, for their very generous messages and for gracing today's event. To our very own Chairman, Attorney Dominador Buhain, our CEO, Mr. Don Timothy Buhain, and our Chief Marketing Officer, Ms. John Marie Fontelera Tordesillas, thank you for sharing our support and commitment to legal education. Thank you also to the very supportive members of the Philippine Association of Law Schools and Association of Law Students of the Philippines. To all the students and bar reviewees who have actively participated in the event, thank you so much for joining us today. We wish you all the best as you take on the most important test of your life. And of course, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you to our dear author, Chief Justice Peralta. Thank you for your magnanimous heart and your generosity for doing this book launch and lecture for the benefit of not just the students, but all our practicing lawyers. Thank you for trusting Rex Education to publish your labor of love. It is our honor to bring your work to more people. Thank you for being our partner in championing legal education. It is true that since last year, the Philippine legal education system has been facing unprecedented disruption, which forced our law learners to stay at home. Around the Philippines, institutions, professors, students, and stakeholders have been collectively finding ways to keep up with learning amidst the crisis. We understand how challenging this experience have been. So to all our legal luminaries, like Chief Justice Peralta, who helped us do our task to support and champion legal education amidst this situation, you are truly heroes of these most challenging times. To all the students of law and bar, hopefuls who are here with us today, we hope that this book, Essentials in Criminal Law, may help you become the best lawyer that you can be for your success and the development of our beloved country. May Chief Justice's words and wisdom be an inspiration to you in your pursuit of becoming a warrior of justice, of the people and for the people. Again, congratulations to former Chief Justice Peralta, and thank you everyone. I wish you all good health and safety. Thank you everyone, and have an amazing rest of the day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Danda Buhain. On that note, we have come to the end of this afternoon's program. Indeed, it was a very productive learning afternoon with our legal luminary, former Chief Justice Peralta, and our honorable distinguished guests from the field of law. On behalf of Rex Education, I would like to express our heartfelt gratitude for having been chosen as your partner in legal education. We look forward to more years of our fruitful partnership as we continue to work together to enable law students and lawyers achieve their dreams of becoming lawyers and excelling as one. To everyone who joined us this afternoon, thank you for learning with us and for choosing Rex to be your partner in learning. See you all on our next book launch and lecture. Thank you and keep soaring, Educampions.